All right, so today we're going to dive into the world of David Goggins.
Oh, yeah.
Ultra endurance athlete, retired Navy SEAL.
Right.
The guy who just completely redefines the meaning of tough.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be using his autobiography, Can't Hurt Me, as our source material.
Yeah. Fantastic book.
Really a masterclass, I think, in mental strength.
Yeah.
And by the end of this deep dive, you'll understand Goggins' philosophy.
Yeah.
And how it really can apply to anyone.
Well, and the thing is, he doesn't see himself as some, unique specimen or anything.
Right.
He really argues that we all have this potential for greatness that's just kind of lurking inside, waiting to be unlocked.
Right. And his story really is a testament to that.
Yeah.
Goggins' childhood was, to put it mildly, incredibly difficult.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, abuse, poverty, racism.
Right.
A brutal reality.
Yeah.
He even talks about hiding bruises
Yeah.
from his abusive father at school.
Oh.
And just constantly living on edge.
You can really feel it when you read the book.
Yes.
The fear and anxiety he experienced as a child.
Right.
Trying to cover up these marks on his body.
Yeah, it's heavy stuff. And while he found, some escape in sports, Goggins admits to kind of getting lost in bad habits for a while.
Right.
Cheating in school, not really applying himself. But then at 19, working this dead-end job.
Yeah.
He sees this documentary about Navy SEALs.
Oh, wow.
And that's when everything changes.
So it's not just passively watching it, though, right? It's his reaction that really sets things in motion.
Yeah.
So he shaves his head, stares into the mirror, and just decides right then and there to turn his life around.
That's amazing. Talk about seizing control.
Yeah.
He even created this accountability mirror ritual.
Yeah.
Every day he would write down his goals on the mirror.
Wow.
And give himself these intense pep talks. I mean, how many of us would actually commit to something like that?
It really shows his dedication to self-mastery. Yeah.
I mean, he knew change wasn't going to be instantaneous.
Right.
So he had to build a system to hold himself accountable.
Every single day.
Yeah, every single day.
So he sets this pretty audacious goal to become a Navy SEAL. But remember, he's overweight. He's out of shape.
Right, starting from square one.
Basically starting from square one.
Yeah.
And this is where we encounter one of Goggins' most famous concepts.
Oh, yeah.
Embracing the suck.
Here's where things get really interesting.
Yes.
Goggins believes that to build true mental toughness, you have to seek out discomfort.
Push yourself past your limits.
You have to push yourself past those limits.
Right. And he doesn't just talk about it, he lives it.
Exactly.
I mean, the guy threw himself into some of the most demanding training imaginable.
Right.
We're talking about the infamous BUDS training.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically Hell Week. This man swam a mile using an improvised backstroke.
What?
Just because he endured round after round of Hell Week, even with injuries.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, we're talking pushing himself to the point of literally vomiting blood.
It's intense.
And there's this really poignant story he tells about a fellow trainee, Sean Dobbs.
Okay.
Dobbs was an incredible athlete, but he mentally broke down under the pressure.
Yeah, it shows you that physical ability can only take you so far.
Absolutely.
It's that mental resilience
Yes.
that really separates the extraordinary from the ordinary.
Exactly. Talent is just one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
It's that ability to push through the pain and self-doubt that really matters. And Goggins really throws down the gauntlet for all of us listening.
Yeah.
How can we apply this embracing the suck idea to our own lives?
And it doesn't require, signing up for a marathon tomorrow or anything.
Right.
It's about finding these little opportunities to step outside our comfort zones.
Build challenges.
Challenging ourselves, pushing those limits, building that mental resilience bit by bit.
So Goggins conquers BUDS, becomes a SEAL, but his drive doesn't stop there. Always searching for the next challenge.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the story of his first 100-mile ultra marathon.
Oh, wow.
A race he ran with basically zero training.
It's incredible.
It's unbelievable. And it's not just the physical accomplishment that stands out here.
Right.
It's how he uses it to illustrate another key concept.
Okay.
The cookie jar.
Interesting.
So imagine this. Goggins is miles into this crazy race.
Yeah.
His body is screaming for him to stop.
Right.
He's about to hit the wall. That's when he taps into his cookie jar.
So what is that?
Think of it as this mental storehouse of past achievements. Those moments where he overcame the odds, improved his capabilities.
Yeah. And he uses those memories as fuel to push through the pain.
Wow. So it's like grabbing little mental snacks to keep himself going.
Exactly. And here's the really powerful part.
Okay.
He says everyone is a cookie jar.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's about recognizing those moments in your own life.
Right.
Big or small.
Where you demonstrated resilience.
Yeah.
Where you achieved something you thought was impossible.
I like that.
So by actively recalling these experiences, we build our own inner reserves of strength and motivation.
To tap into when things get tough.
Exactly. It's a tool that anyone can use.
Yeah.
Whether the challenge is physical, mental, or emotional.
That's a good point.
And it ties directly into Goggins' belief that talent isn't the deciding factor. He brings up this compelling example of meeting an armless athlete at the Ultraman World Championship.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that this individual competing at an elite level, overcoming a physical challenge most would consider insurmountable.
Really puts things in perspective.
Absolutely. It's proof that with enough heart and determination, truly anything is possible.
Yeah, I love that.
And Goggins himself is living proof. Remember, he achieved all of this while dealing with his own injuries.
Right.
Constantly adapting his training.
Had to be creative.
He even wore layers of clothes to simulate the heat of the Badwater 135.
Yeah.
Talk about dedication.
That's wild.
It speaks to his resourcefulness, his commitment to finding a way.
Right.
Even when faced with seemingly impossible obstacles.
Finding a way no matter what.
So what does this mean for you?
Yeah.
It's about challenging those I can't statements we tell ourselves. It's about finding creative solutions, adapting to whatever life throws at us.
Right.
And finding ways to train effectively, even with limitations.
Because as Goggins shows us, our potential for growth and achievement often lies just beyond those self-imposed boundaries.
And that leads us to one of Goggins' most thought-provoking ideas.
Okay.
The 40% rule.
Interesting.
This one is a real game changer.
All right, I'm ready.
This is where Goggins challenges us to rethink our assumptions about what we're truly capable of. He argues that most people only tap in to 40% of their potential.
Right.
Leaving a massive 60% untapped.
That's a lot.
And his entire approach to life, his constant pursuit of challenges, is about accessing that remaining 60%.
Yeah.
It's about pushing past self-imposed limits.
Right.
Breaking through those mental barriers that hold us back.
And he doesn't just talk the talk, right?
Oh, no.
He walks the walk.
He backs it up with countless examples from his own life.
Oh, yeah.
His recruiting mission for the Navy SEALs, training with Delta Force, shattering the pull-up world record twice.
Oh, my goodness.
Even becoming a wildland firefighter.
A guy is a machine.
But the point is, Goggins is constantly seeking new ways to test himself.
Right.
To push past his comfort zone.
To push those limits.
And he challenges us to do the same.
So how do we apply that?
It doesn't have to be on Goggins' scale, of course.
Right.
It's about finding those areas in our own lives where we can apply this 40% rule.
Okay.
Where we can strive for more.
Yeah.
Push ourselves to achieve things we never thought possible.
Oh, could be at work. In our relationships, our hobbies.
Personal growth.
Our personal growth.
Absolutely. The key is to pinpoint where we've become complacent.
Yeah.
Where we've settled for good enough.
Right.
And ask ourselves, what if I could achieve more?
Because Goggins' story shows us
that
our potential is often far greater
yes.
than we initially believe.
And speaking of pushing limitations, Goggins has a particularly compelling story.
Okay.
About training for the Badwater 135, one of the toughest ultramarathons in the world.
Oh, yeah.
He realizes that his tendons are so damaged he can't even run.
Oh, wow.
How's he going to attempt this race if he can't run?
Yeah, how do you even do that?
It would have been so easy for him to just give up.
Right.
To say it's impossible. But that's just not how Goggins operates. Oh. Instead of dwelling on what he couldn't do,
he
focused on what he could control.
Okay.
His mindset and his training methods.
So what did he do?
He dives into this intense cross-training regimen.
Right.
Riding a bike for miles, using an elliptical trainer, and get this wearing layers of clothes to simulate the desert heat.
Wow. That's dedication.
It's almost unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's a testament to his incredible resourcefulness and adaptability.
Right.
Goggins understands that sometimes achieving a goal requires finding unconventional solutions.
Yeah.
Thinking outside the box.
Absolutely.
And it really showcases that no excuses mentality.
He wasn't letting his injuries define his limits.
Exactly. He found a way to train effectively, even when faced with what seemed like insurmountable obstacles.
That's so important.
And I think it's such a powerful lesson For anyone pursuing a challenging goal, focus on what you can do.
Right.
Find creative solutions.
Yeah.
Adapt to your circumstances.
Absolutely.
Don't let setbacks define you.
And we can't overlook the mental aspect here.
Right.
He was using visualization techniques during this time
Yes.
to mentally prepare for the race.
Even when his physical training was limited.
Yeah.
It's like he was mentally rehearsing, building up that mental toughness and resilience.
That he would need during the race.
Exactly. And that's something we can all apply.
Yes.
Whether we're training for a physical challenge, preparing for a big presentation,
Yeah.
or even working through a difficult emotional situation.
Right. The mind is such a powerful tool.
Absolutely.
And by actively using it, we can increase our chances of success.
Now back to the Badwater 135.
Yeah.
One thing that really struck me was how Goggins described hitting the wall during the race.
Yeah, we've all heard the term.
Right.
The way he describes it.
It's like this overwhelming darkness.
Yeah.
This all-consuming urge to just quit.
And that's where his mental fortitude is truly tested.
Yeah.
He's in excruciating pain, his body's depleted,
Right.
and he's at a crossroads, giving in to the urge to quit
Right.
or find a way to keep going.
And that's where he pulls out the cookie jar.
Yeah.
Where he starts drawing on those past experiences, reminding himself of times he overcame adversity. Push through pain and doubt.
It's a reminder that we all have these reserves of strength within us, those moments we can draw on when we're facing our own personal walls.
But it's not just about past victories.
Okay.
Goggins also talks about reframing his situation, finding ways to see it as a challenge to overcome,
Right.
rather than a reason to quit.
He talks about viewing the race as an opportunity to test his limits, to prove to himself what he's capable of.
Even in the face of extreme discomfort,
Right.
it's a powerful mindset shift that allows him to transform pain and suffering
into fuel for growth.
Exactly. And so Goggins finishes the Badwater 135.
Wow.
Which is already incredible.
Yeah.
But then he decides to try out for Delta Force.
Oh, wow.
Which is like the Army's equivalent of the SEALs.
Right.
Talk about pushing the limits.
This is where we see Goggins's relentless pursuit of self-improvement in action.
Yes, he's not content to rest on his laurels.
Right.
He's constantly searching for new challenges.
Yeah.
New ways to test himself.
And push past what he thinks he's capable of.
Exactly. And he throws himself into this grueling selection process, facing physical and mental challenges that would break most people.
Yeah.
But again, he focuses on what he can control.
Right.
His mindset, his preparation, his execution.
And he excels in so many areas.
Yes.
He's not just physically strong.
Right.
He's also a strategic thinker. He's adaptable.
Yes.
And he's willing to embrace discomfort and push through pain.
And he even discovers a hidden talent for land navigation.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing the guy who once admitted to not being able to read a map
Yeah.
is now navigating through challenging terrain, using his wits and his mental toughness to overcome obstacles.
That's incredible.
And it shows that we often have this hidden potential within us, abilities we haven't yet discovered or developed.
Right.
And sometimes it takes facing a challenge outside our comfort zone to unlock those hidden strengths.
That's a good point.
Now, what's really interesting about this whole Delta Force experience is that Goggins doesn't actually make it through the selection process.
Really?
He gets medically disqualified.
Oh, wow.
Due to a heart condition he didn't even know he had.
That's wild.
It's a reminder that sometimes life throws us curveballs we can't control, no matter how hard we try or how well we prepare.
It's about how we respond to those setbacks.
Absolutely. And Goggins, even though he's obviously disappointed, he doesn't let this define him.
Right.
He uses it as an opportunity to learn to grow and to redirect his energy towards other challenges.
He talks about this process of self-reflection, analyzing what he learned from the experience, and using that knowledge to fuel his future endeavors.
Such a powerful example of resilience,
Yeah.
turning a setback into an opportunity for growth and learning.
Absolutely.
And this leads us to another one of Goggins' most remarkable feats,
Okay.
his attempt to break the world record for pull-ups.
Oh, wow.
So this guy's already an ultramarathon runner, a retired SEAL,
Yeah.
and now he's setting his sights on a completely different challenge.
It speaks to his constant desire to push his limits, to explore these different aspects of his physical and mental capabilities.
And it's not just about the physical challenge.
Right.
It's about testing his mental fortitude, his ability to endure pain and discomfort over an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And he approaches it with his signature meticulous preparation.
Of course.
He researches techniques, experiments with different equipment, and even creates a specific environment to maximize his chances of success.
He tackles this challenge with the same intensity and focus that he brings to everything else.
He's not winging it.
He creates a system, a plan, and he executes it with precision.
But even with all this preparation, things don't go according to plan.
Oh, no.
He attempts the record on live television.
Yeah.
And it's honestly heartbreaking to watch.
Oh, real.
He's in so much pain. His hands are bleeding.
Oh, my goodness.
And he eventually has to stop.
Wow.
Before reaching his goal.
It's a powerful reminder that even with the best preparation and the strongest mindset, sometimes things just don't go our way.
Yeah.
Failure is a part of life.
Absolutely.
And often those moments of defeat are where we learn the most valuable lessons.
And that's exactly what Goggins does. He analyzes his failure.
Right.
Identifying the factors that contributed to it.
Yeah.
And uses that knowledge to prepare for his next attempt.
He talks about conducting a live autopsy where he breaks down his performance, identifying both the positive and negative aspects, and using that information to improve.
A valuable tool for anyone who wants to learn from their mistakes.
Right.
And increase their chances of success.
Absolutely.
And sure enough, Goggins goes on to break the pull-up world record.
Wow.
Not once, but twice.
Good for him.
It's a testament to his resilience. This ability to learn from failure and his unwavering commitment to achieving his goals.
It really highlights a crucial aspect of his philosophy.
Which is?
There is no finish line in self-improvement. It's a continuous process of setting goals, pushing limits.
Overcoming setbacks.
Overcoming those setbacks.
And constantly striving to become a better version of ourselves.
Absolutely. And it's amazing, even after achieving all of this, Goggins doesn't stop there.
Right.
He sets his sights on Delta Force.
Oh, wow.
The Army's elite special operations unit.
It's like he's constantly raising the bar for himself.
Absolutely.
Delta Force selection is notorious for being just one of the most grueling experiences imaginable.
And it's during this selection process that we really see Goggins' relentless commitment to self-improvement on full display. He's not satisfied with past achievements. He's always looking for that next challenge.
Right.
Pushing himself beyond what most would consider possible.
And he throws himself into this incredibly intense training.
Yeah.
Facing physical and mental tests that would break most people.
Oh, yeah.
But remember, Goggins always comes back to what he can control.
Right.
It's his mindset, his preparation, and his execution.
Absolutely. And he excels in so many areas, demonstrating not just physical strength and endurance, but also strategic thinking adaptability and an unwavering willingness to push through pain and discomfort.
It's incredible.
And he even discovers a hidden talent for land navigation.
It's almost ironic, right?
Yeah.
The guy who once admitted to struggling with reading a map is now navigating complex terrain using his mental toughness and resourcefulness to overcome obstacles.
Really highlights how we often have hidden potential within us, abilities that we haven't discovered or developed yet.
And so it takes facing a challenge outside our comfort zone to unlock those hidden strengths.
Absolutely. Now here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Despite his incredible performance, Goggins doesn't actually make it through Delta Force selection.
Oh, wow.
He is medically disqualified due to a heart condition he didn't even know he had.
That's unbelievable.
It's a stark reminder that even with meticulous preparation and an unbreakable mindset, sometimes life throws us curveballs.
Right.
There are some things we just can't control.
But what's truly inspiring is how Goggins responds to this setback.
Yeah.
Instead of letting it define him, he uses it as a catalyst for growth and learning.
He talks about this process of deep self-reflection, analyzing what he learned from the experience, and using that knowledge to fuel his future endeavors.
It's a powerful example of resilience, of turning a seemingly insurmountable obstacle into an opportunity for growth.
Absolutely. And it's this resilience that fuels his next incredible feat, attempting to break the world record for pull-ups.
It seems like every time Goggins achieves something extraordinary, he sets his sights on an even more audacious goal.
It speaks to his constant desire to test his limits, to explore different facets of his physical and mental capabilities.
And it's not just about the physical challenge, right? It's about pushing his mental fortitude to the absolute limit.
Absolutely. And true to form, Goggins approaches this challenge with his signature meticulous preparation.
Of course.
He dives deep into research experiments with different techniques and equipment, and even creates a specific training environment to maximize his chances of success.
It's incredible.
He applies that same level of intensity and focus to this challenge as he does to everything else.
And he's not leaving anything to chance.
No, he's creating a system, a plan,
and
he's executing it with unwavering precision.
But even with all this preparation, things don't go as smoothly as he hoped.
Right.
His first attempt to break the record, which is televised live,
Oh, wow.
is truly gut-wrenching to watch.
Oh, no.
He's clearly in agonizing pain. His hands are bleeding.
Oh, geez.
And he eventually has to stop before reaching his goal.
It's a raw and powerful reminder that even with the best preparation and the strongest mindset, failure is sometimes inevitable.
It's part of life.
Yeah, and often it's in those moments of defeat that we learn the most valuable lessons.
And that's exactly what Goggins does.
Yeah.
He doesn't let this failure define him.
No.
Instead, he dissects it. He analyzes what went wrong.
Right.
And uses that knowledge to refine his approach for his next attempt.
He calls this process a live autopsy, where he meticulously breaks down his performance, identifying both the strength and weaknesses, and using that information to improve.
It's such a valuable tool.
It really is.
For anyone who wants to learn from their mistakes and increase their chances of success.
Absolutely. And wouldn't you know, Goggins goes on to break the pull-up world record.
Wow.
Not just once, but twice.
That's amazing.
A testament to his resilience, his unwavering commitment to his goals, and his ability to learn from setbacks and come back even stronger.
And here's the key takeaway. Goggins doesn't stop there.
Of course not.
He continues to seek out new challenges, pushing himself beyond his comfort zone.
Right.
He becomes a wildland firefighter battling massive blazes.
Whoa.
Putting himself in harm's way to help others.
It's like his drive to push limits isn't just about personal achievement. It's about using his strength and resilience to make a positive impact on the world.
And what's truly inspiring is that through it all, Goggins maintains this unwavering belief that he's not special.
Right.
He constantly emphasizes that anyone can achieve what he has if they're willing to put in the work and embrace the discomfort.
Yeah.
But it's that famous Goggins line, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
And I know that might sound a bit far-fetched,
yeah,
considering his extraordinary accomplishments.
But there's a powerful truth hidden beneath that statement.
I think so, too.
It's about recognizing that we all possess untapped potential reserves of strength and resilience that we often don't even realize we have.
Yeah. And it's about finding ways to unlock that potential.
Absolutely.
To push past those self-imposed limitations and strive for more than we ever thought possible.
And this is where Goggins' can't hurt me mentality becomes truly transformative.
Yes.
It's not just about physical endurance or achieving extreme goals.
Right.
It's about cultivating a mindset, a way of approaching life's challenges that empowers us to overcome obstacles, push through pain and doubt, and constantly strive for growth and self-improvement.
It's a powerful message.
It really is.
And that message resonates with people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
Regardless of their background, their goals, or their current circumstances.
Absolutely. At its core, it's about believing in ourselves, in our ability to achieve more than we think is possible, and to live a life that is both meaningful and fulfilling.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of David Goggins, I think it's important to ask ourselves, what's one area in your life where you can apply his principles?
Where can you push your own limits?
What's something you've been putting off, telling yourself you can't do, that you're now willing to reconsider?
Remember, as Goggins reminds us, there's no finish line in self-improvement.
Absolutely.
It's an ongoing journey, a constant process of growth and evolution.
And the potential for what we can achieve is often far greater than we initially believed.
So keep pushing, keep exploring, and keep that can't hurt me mentality at the forefront of your mind.
You might just surprise yourself with what you're capable of achieving.
Absolutely. And for those looking for a deeper dive into Goggins's philosophy and inspiring journey, I highly recommend checking out his book, Can't Hurt Me.
Yeah.
It's a powerful read that could change the way you view yourself and your potential.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, Keep learning, keep growing, and never stop pushing those limits.
He really does embody that idea, that this can't hurt me mentality.
Yeah.
It can be applied to anything.
Absolutely.
Not just these extreme physical feats.
It's about that inner strength we all have.
Right, and applying it to any area of our lives.
He's such a powerful example of what's possible.
Yeah.
When we push past our limits, those self-imposed boundaries that we create.
And he's always telling us he's not superhuman or anything.
Right.
He really attributes his success to hard work, discipline, and just unwavering belief in his potential.
It's really inspiring.
Yeah.
Remember when he talks about pushing past that 40%?
Oh, yeah.
It's like he's saying we all have this huge reservoir of untapped strength and ability just waiting to be unlocked.
It's a challenge to all of us to examine our lives and say, where am I selling myself short? Where am I holding back?
Where can I push myself to achieve more than I thought was possible?
And he gives us so many tools for doing that.
Yeah, he does.
Think about that cookie jar technique.
Oh, yeah.
That mental repository of past victories that we can draw on when we're facing challenges.
It's such a good reminder that, we've all overcome things in the past.
Right. We've all achieved things we thought were impossible.
And by remembering those experiences, we can tap into that strength.
Exactly. We can tap into that resilience whenever we need it.
And it's not just about the past, right?
Right.
Goggins also talks about visualization.
Oh, yeah.
Mentally rehearsing success and using that to fuel our efforts.
It's a technique used by athletes all the time.
Yeah.
But it can really apply to any goal we're pursuing.
Absolutely. Work projects, personal challenges, anything.
Even navigating a difficult situation.
And let's not forget the power of self-reflection.
Oh, that's huge.
That ability to honestly assess our strengths and weaknesses and use that knowledge to improve.
Like when Goggins did those live autopsies after his failures.
Exactly.
What a great lesson in learning from mistakes.
And using them as stepping stones to future success.
It's about taking ownership of our actions.
Yeah.
Understanding what worked, what didn't. Yeah. And using those lessons to improve.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into David Goggins,
yeah,
I want to leave you with this. What's one area where you can apply his can't hurt me mentality?
Where can you embrace discomfort? Push past those limits.
Unlock that potential inside you.
Because remember, there's no finish line. It's about challenging ourselves.
Always striving for growth.
Becoming the best versions of ourselves.
If you're feeling inspired, want to learn more.
Yeah.
Pick up his book, Can't Hurt Me.
It's a really transformative read.
It is. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It was fun.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing those limits.